morning, everyone. Good morning. Oh, my hair is on. Good morning. I hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone had a great weekend. If not, well, you have another weekend coming up, so you have an opportunity to change that. So today I'm going. So today I'm going to talk about. I don't know how I'm going to title it. There are two things I wanted to talk about, but I don't know. I was kind of in a rush this morning, so I didn't really plan it out. But anyway, so let's just say this: the first thing, screeching tires this morning. I'm throwing off this morning. I have my friend came to visit yesterday, and he left a set of keys at my house, so I told him I'll bring him in the morning. But throwing off my routine, the route that I usually take. So that's what I'm kind of like thrown off. Anyway, so if you hear it in the video, that's why you hear choppiness and all that stuff, distraction. Anyway, I wanted to talk about. I'm going to talk about. How would I word it? How the universe has your back, or how God has your back if you live in love, if you love yourself. Actually, more specifically, if you love yourself. So, as some of you know, I obviously have a full-time job, but I also have a part-time job. And in my last video, and I think the video before that, I talked about taking time out for yourself. You have to love yourself. Because what we tend to do is we overextend ourselves to the point where we don't have any energy for ourselves. And that's not loving ourselves. That is actually hating ourselves. In a way, it is. I mean, because we are given an amount of energy to do the things that we love, to do the things that we desire. And when we expend that energy on something other than loving ourselves, then we pay the price for that. Because anything that's unloving has a negative consequence, has a painful consequence, I should say. And so, as I was making the video last week, I think it was Thursday and Friday, I realized I need to take a break. I just need to take a break. Because I feel like I just don't want to go to work. I want to just relax. Of course, I go to my day job. I like my day job. But the other one kind of takes, it just takes away from the time that I have for myself. So I took a break. But that also meant that I'm not going to have that additional income coming in. So I actually, in the mail, I got a $200 check that I wasn't expecting. What was it? Maybe, I think I got it a month ago. I didn't cash it until 2 weeks ago. And then 2 weeks later, or something like that, 2 weeks later, I got another $200 check. And it came from the same place, but I wasn't expecting it so soon. Like, I wasn't expecting any money from this company until like maybe 2 months from now, but it started coming, and it's coming every month. So $200 coming every month, right? So I don't have to worry about that. But then yesterday, I checked the mail. Obviously, it was Sunday, so this must have come in Saturday. There was a check in the mail for $371 and some change, and it was from Bank of America, and it says a refund to your account. Now, the only account that I have with Bank of America is a credit card. So so basically I got all this money that came from sources that I wasn't expecting it to come from at a time when I decided to love myself and rest and relax. Not because I was lazy and I didn't want to work, because I knew that my body needed rest. I needed to relax the mind. I needed to take care of home. I needed to take care of myself, because my home is an extension of who I am. And so the reason why I bring that up is because before I decided to not work, before I decided to really actively take care of myself, I already knew that everything was going to work out. I didn't know how. I wasn't worried about how. I just knew everything was going to work out. I just knew it. I knew it. And I knew that the universe is going to make sure that it works out. And that's really what I want to talk about, is how. It's the feeling behind it. Because sometimes, most times, what we do is we hope that everything is going to work out. And there's no faith in hope. There's no faith in hope. If you're hoping, then you're not sure. You're unsure. You're like, I hope so. And it's hard to explain what hope is because it's not something that we use it, but to explain it is really difficult. But I think it's important to understand what it is that we're doing when we do this. It's like how do you explain hope without using hope? I think I tried this before and I couldn't do it. So maybe if you guys can do it, share it with me in the comments, because I can't use hope without using hope. It's a feeling of uncertainty. It's like you wish something is going to happen, but you're not sure if it's going to happen. It's kind of like a maybe. You toss it up in the air and you just leave it up to chance. And that's what hope is. You leave it up to chance. Hoping that chance is going to be in your favor. And that's not how you do it. I have faith that I'm being taken care of. It's an understanding that I have. And that understanding is that I am supported in everything that I do. And so when I say that, it's like I have an understanding that my needs are going to be taken care of, but it's not about my needs. That's the thing. It's not about the things. There's no focus on one particular thing. When you focus on one particular thing, you have resistance, because that's where the hope comes in. And that's the thing, is that hope doesn't work. You have to have faith. You have to believe that you are going to be taken care of no matter what. Now, I just knew that, I guess I can say it like this. I knew that my life was going to move forward with me not working. I knew my life was going to move forward and I wasn't going to have any stress. I knew that events would not pop up that would stress me. That's having faith that the universe is taking care of me. That's having faith that God is having my back. And so I didn't have a belief or a feeling that I can sit back and do nothing. That was never part of it. And some people have this. They're like, oh, I'm just not going to do anything, and God, I'm just going to leave it to God. No, I don't leave anything to God like that, because you give up your power. And that's the reason why you're here, to express the power you have, to exude the power you have, to express it, to be it. And so how can you just say, I'm going to leave it up to God? That's like leaving it up to chance again, because you have no, I don't want to say focus, because that's too strong, but it's like you have no vision for yourself. And you have to have a desire. You have to have a vision for yourself. And my vision was, I was going to stay home, do the things that I wanted to do, that I enjoy, which is taking care of my home. I like cleaning my home. I like straightening out and organizing. I like doing that because I like creating my environment. And that's part of loving myself. So when I said, and I think I said it in my last video, when you do the things you love, when you do the things that you desire, that is part of loving yourself. So that doesn't, when you take time for yourself, that doesn't mean that you just go to sleep and you sleep all weekend. But if that's what you need, that's what you need. But like I said, I think in my last video, if you've gotten to that point of exhaustion, then it's too late. Like you've really overextended yourself. Like you haven't loved yourself for a while, and now you're just crashing. But I didn't allow myself to do that. I allowed myself to engage in things that I love. And since I did that, the universe is able to have my back. And that's the point I'm trying to make, is when I decided not to work, like I said, I had a feeling, I had a vision, and I knew that I was going to be able to do the things, not sit on my ass and do nothing because I didn't want to do it. I was going to engage in the things that I desire to do, that I love doing, that I enjoy doing, and that is a form of self-love. And when you love yourself, you are rewarded for that. And I was rewarded for that. So $700 and what something dollars I got. 771? Yeah. For doing nothing. Nothing. I didn't do anything. I didn't even work for that money. It just came to me. And that's what I'm saying. I didn't I didn't have any idea. I didn't say, oh, well, you know, this check's coming in. I don't have to work, so I can take a break. So because this is coming in, there wasn't any trade-off. I didn't have to sacrifice anything. I didn't have to conjure up anything. I didn't have to make plans. I didn't have to put anything in place. That's using your willpower. And this weekend, and actually the majority of last week and part of this week, I didn't do anything. I did not do anything, and yet the money is there. And I already know, I already know people are already going on this. I already know people are thinking, oh, all I have to do is have a vision and the money will come to me. No, see, that's just flat out laziness. You have no vision for yourself. You have no, if you're looking at it from that perspective, then you don't have a vision for yourself. There isn't any road that you have in your mind that you want to be on. You know, there's no journey involved. You just want to sit back and it's almost like you want to sit back, have the money in your bank, and eat grapes. And that's not. We are put here to be active, to engage. That's what we're here for. So there's things that I want to do. There's things that I need to do for myself. When you have other people wait on you hand and foot, you're really not engaging in life at all. You think of all the past kings and queens who ruled and had everything handed to them. That really wasn't engaging in life. It's enjoying the finer things, but the finer things isn't what life is about. I didn't see, you know, what is that? That was the highway patrol. I didn't see myself sitting back and doing nothing. I just saw myself doing something that I enjoy doing for myself, putting into myself. And that's what I did. I loved myself to put into myself. And the universe took care of me. I was not expecting it. I was kind of shocked. I was like, oh, okay. And then another one came out. I'm like, oh. And then the check yesterday, I was like, oh. I was like, okay, well, that's how you doing it, universe. Let's do it then, you know. And I'm like, I'm grateful. And you have to be grateful. You have to be grateful. Well, you don't have to, but if you being grateful is an act of self-love. Because you're being grateful, you're holding love within yourself for someone else. You're saying thank you. But as you thank someone else, you're also holding love within yourself, because where do you think it's coming from? You have to, if you're grateful and thankful, there's love within yourself. You're holding it within yourself and you're projecting it out to someone else. Of course, there's empty thank yous out there. People do it all the time. Oh, thank you, and they mean nothing by it. It's just a word to appease or satisfy, to show, to falsely show that you actually appreciate it. That happens all the time. Thank you. Thank you. The friend that came over yesterday, he brought me a cake. Because my birthday's coming up. It's on Wednesday the 27th. And so he brought me a cake. He's like, here, I brought you a cake. I was like, oh, wow, thanks, you know. And I'm appreciative of that, because one, I don't really celebrate my birthday. And he actually remembered. I'm like, oh, wow, thanks. So it meant a lot to me that someone actually remembered when my birthday is, because I'm not one to celebrate it. Generally, someone has to remind me. He actually reminded me. He's like, when's your birthday? And I had to look at the calendar to see when it was. But that's only because I grew up Jehovah's Witness, so it's not a thing. Which I think I need to change. Not because people celebrate birthdays, but because it is a celebration of myself. And I never saw it like that. Because like I said, I grew up in a Jehovah's Witness neighborhood. It wasn't a thing. It's something you didn't do. You stayed away from. But I mean, it's really not bad to celebrate yourself. I mean, you're supposed to celebrate yourself every day. But it is a milestone. You lived another year. I mean, that is big. There's a lot of people who don't. There's a lot of people who can't. Because of the darkness within their soul. And something within their soul comes and claims their physical being. And then they're just left with their spirit body in the spirit world. So I am grateful and I am thankful that I'm still here to to enjoy the things that I love enjoying, like working. I love working. It gives me something to do. That's what I'm saying. When you engage in things that you enjoy, you're loving yourself. And when you have a desire to be active, when you have a desire to do something, you're loving yourself. Because you're engaging in something that brings you joy, satisfaction, pleasure. I've always loved working. I started working since I was 16 years old. And I've always loved it. I've always enjoyed it. Granted, there's some things that, let me just say this. Out of all the jobs that I've had and all the positions that I've held, I've enjoyed them all the time, or I enjoyed them the times that I did them. In the moment, I enjoyed it. Would I want to go back and do some of them? Nope. It was in the moment. That's who I was back then. That's what I enjoyed back then. And there's going to be something else coming up. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's going to be something that I enjoy. That I know. Because I generally don't engage in things that I don't enjoy. And if I'm asked to do something, I do it as a challenge to myself. It's like, oh, well, let me try this. It's not something I was looking to do, but hey, let me put myself into it and I may enjoy it. That's how I look at it. I try not to have resistance, because the resistance makes life miserable. And this is even before I even knew it made life miserable. But when you engage in things that you don't enjoy, it's no fun. It's like, okay, But yeah, I wanted to, say that it's like, we oftentimes worry that we're not going to make it. And I understand there are people out there who are struggling financially, and they feel if I don't work, I'm not going to make it. But understand that that feeling of pressure is the resistance already. And so it's going to be quite difficult for a person like that who feels they have to get up and work and do this and do that. They're already creating a sense of lack within themselves. It's almost like they're denying the universe the ability to support them, because they have such resistance to doing anything for themselves. There are people who wish they didn't have to work. And the only idea that I have in terms of not working is so that I can enjoy other things. So I can go out and travel here and travel there, explore the earth and see, different places and things. I do want to do that. And at some point that will happen because it's part of my desire. But I don't see it as, I don't want to work anymore. I just want to stay home and do nothing. That's not putting much energy. That's actually not putting any energy into myself. Yes, you're getting rest, but what are you living for? What are you living for? To do nothing? Well, in the spirit world, you don't have to do anything. So there is going to come a time when you don't have to do anything. You won't have to do anything. And you don't have to do anything now, but you're here. And there's so many things to do. And there's so many things to do in terms of loving yourself. And there's so many things to enjoy and experience. So why not? You're not going to be able to come back here for a long time. And I know there's some people out there who believe in reincarnation. You believe it if you want to, but you're going to miss out on the opportunity. And then you'll start justifying, because there is a sense of loss. When you leave this place, there is a sense of loss. It's no different than you working at a place for a long time and you're leaving. There's a sense of loss. You're going to leave the people that you've come to know, the people you've come to see every day of your life. You've created bonds with these people. And even when you retire, it's a sad thing to experience, because you're leaving these people behind. And you've depended on these people for so long. I knew you were going to do something silly like that. So you will experience a sense of loss. There are things here that you can't, that aren't in the spirit world. Things that you enjoy. Like peach cobbler with vanilla ice cream on it. It's not in the spirit world. There's other things in the spirit world, but that's not it. So if that's one of your favorite things, then enjoy it. Enjoy it, enjoy it, enjoy it. Don't be gluttonous about it, but enjoy it. There's so many things. Children. You can have children here, but you can't have children in the spirit world. You can have sex, but there aren't any children. So whatever children you have them here. Because you can't have them there. You just can't. And so there's going to be a sense of loss. There's going to be a lot of things that there's going to be a lot of things that you will have taken for granted and you won't realize until it's gone. And that's saying you never know what you got until it's gone. And I'm aware of this. Like, I'm aware that there's things that are not within the spirit world. I mean, I'm aware that there are things that are here that aren't in the spirit world. And so I want to experience. I mean, as degraded as this planet is and how people are, I can't let that dictate my experiences. And that's what a lot of people do. They're like, oh, this world, I can't. Gosh, there's so many people who feel that way. Like, I can't wait till this world ends. People are literally waiting for Armageddon. They're waiting for it, and so they don't put any effort. They don't live, and that's one of the sad things that I see with my family is they're Jehovah's Witnesses and they're just waiting to die. There's no, because of the promises that they've been made, the paradise, but they don't understand that lack of love for self, that lack of will to live and be here and explore and experience is what darkens their soul, which prevents them from experiencing the paradise that they believe they're going to experience. And they don't know it. How do you live in misery for so long? And I mean, I understand how they see it, but it's like, my question or observation is, how do you live for, say, 60, 70 years with how do you live all those years without working towards or moving towards desires that you have, just waiting to die so you're in a perfect place? And it's done. They do it. I just, from my perspective, I can't see that. Sit and do nothing for 60, 70 years and just wait until God comes and destroys everything so I can be in a better place. Like, it's not that bad. I don't think it's that bad. On Earth, I don't see it as being that bad. People have such a struggle staying in their lanes on curves. I don't know, that's crazy to me. But yet people do this every day. Millions of people are like, I don't know, is there billions of Jehovah's Witnesses or millions? I'm not sure. Ooh, look at that traffic. I left at 6 o'clock in the morning, people. 6 o'clock in the morning. I left I'm supposed to be leaving my house right now. There's traffic on this freeway. That's crazy. I think I'm supposed to get off. I think I will. If you let me over. Oh, no, it's time to go straight. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how you do that. That's certainly not loving yourself. People, we all have desires and dreams, and that's something that we should hold on to, because once you let those go, you're just existing. You're not living for anything at all. Maybe that's what this video should be about. Your dreams, your desires. I don't know. Just hold on to them. Because that's the only thing to live for. If you have no vision, it's like, what is a carrot? You create the carrot. What carrot do you want? And that's what you move towards. And as you embark upon that journey of reaching for that, so many other things come into your existence. So many things you're allowed to experience. That wasn't even part of your vision, but you enjoy. Like, for instance, I love working. What's a benefit of working? You get to meet some great people. You get some lessons in there. You know, people irritate you and frustrate you, but that's a gift. Like, these are things that you get along the way. They just come. The unloving person that you have in your life, you didn't think that you were going to get that at 6 years old. But you got it. You got it when you needed it, to show you something that you needed to see. There's all kinds of gifts along the way. Bonuses. I call them bonuses. You're always given bonuses. The universe is always giving you bonuses. Here's a bonus. You weren't looking for it, but here you go. You know? Just like the checks that came in. It was a bonus. It's like, hey, you weren't expecting these, but here you go. Because you were taking care of yourself. You're rewarded for loving. You're just rewarded for love, period. You don't have to work for everything. You just have to love yourself. You can work for everything. Sure. $700 and whatever dollars. I could have worked for that. I could have ran myself into the ground for that. To the point of being so tired and exhausted to where I crashed. I could have, but I chose not to. And it wasn't like I chose not to because I knew $700 and some dollars were coming. No. Because I simply decided to take care of myself, to love myself. That's it. But you can't, you cannot say, I'm not going to go to work today because I'm loving myself. I'm not going to work because I love myself. Because when you don't go to work because you don't want to, that's something completely different. I had no issue doing that. If I just knew that I need to slow it down, and that's it. And I was rewarded for it. We're always rewarded for it, people. We are always rewarded for it. But you have to know that I guess you have to be, not I guess, but you have to be aware of the intent you have. You have to be aware of it. I have a family member who's going through crazy stuff right now. Just crazy stuff. You know, this person likes smoking weed and drinking and whatnot. And this person has kids. And their focus isn't their kids, but now they're going up through like a breakup. And now, you know, court is like custody is now thrown into the mix, and the courts. And it's like there's just a lot of chaos, and this person had asked me if I could support them in terms of, you know, custody. And I'm thinking, I can't support you or the other person. How can I support that? How can I support the kids being in an environment where they're smoking weed and drinking and having, you know, these people, these, you know, men in and out of the house, and, you know, and the person said, all I want is 50-50. And I'm like, that's all you want is 50-50. That's all you want is 50-50. And it's the intent behind it. The intent. You want 50-50 custody of your kids. Why? 50-50. That's the motivating factor. 50-50. What does that mean? It means I get half and you get half. The kids really aren't in the equation. The kids are being used. That's all. The kids are just being used. And that's something I cannot support. And I didn't support it. But the intent behind that is, oh, that's so disastrous. That's so disastrous. Poor kids, you know. But, you know, the universe will work everything out, you know. Who has the most loving intent is the person who will be rewarded, you know. Is it the mom who wants to take care of the kids, or is it the dad who wants to take care of the kids, or is it the mom who just wants to make sure that the other person doesn't get everything, or is it the father that makes sure that the mother doesn't get everything? Like, what is it? Like, whoever has the purest intent will win. In the end, it will win. But you have to be aware of your intent. You have to be aware of what you're doing and why you're asking for things. Intent. You must realize the intent. What is the reason, the feeling behind it? That's something that I know people do not even question. And I know this because I was one of them years ago. I didn't intend. I never questioned my intent. My intent is I wanted what I wanted, how I wanted it, and for the reason why I wanted it. Just because I wanted it. I didn't delve into anything deeper. There's no reason for that. I know what I want. This is what I want. Damn it. Give me what I want. Really. That's how most people live. This is what I want. No questions about it. And so they ask for things with malintent. And they don't understand it. They don't understand it. So, anyway, you're able to manifest things if you love yourself. And loving yourself means you don't have any worry. You don't have any concern. But you also are not living in hope. I'm not going to do it. You know, and the thing is, with hope, there is a slight concern there. There is some resistance in hope. Because you're like, oh, God, something might happen, but let me just I hope everything works out. But there's always something in the back of your mind. That's the thing with hope. When you have hope, there's always something in the back of your mind. There's a possibility that it may not work out. And that's the resistance that you create for yourself. That's what hope masks. It masks the resistance in the background. And that's what you have to be mindful of. Every time you hope, every single time you hope, there's some type of resistance in the background. Because there's something that you're worried about. There's something that you're concerned about. And that you don't want to focus on it, so you're like, oh, let's just hope it works out. And that's what hope is. It's like it covers the true emotions of what you're feeling, the true fears, the true concerns, the true worries that you're having. And then you have, well, I shouldn't say every time, because some people, they say they have faith in it, but they use hope. They're like, oh, well, hope it works out. But sometimes those are just words without meaning. Like, we always use words without meaning, and sometimes people use the word hope without having any meaning behind it. But like I said, hope is just a thing, but it covers up something. So you can say, oh, I hope everything works out, but in the back of your mind, it's like you have a feeling everything is going to work out. Like, there isn't any worry. So I guess I can say that hope is a mask. And depending where you are in your soul condition and your belief and where you are, you can use hope. Because some people are not comfortable saying, oh, I have faith, everything is going to work out. Some people aren't comfortable saying that because they're afraid if it doesn't work out, people are going to say something like, oh, he said it was going to work out. Well, you believed it was going to work out. It didn't work out. And so people say, oh, I hope it works out. But in the back of their mind, it's like they have this knowing that everything is going to work out. So I guess you can say it can go both ways. It can go both ways. But it really has to do, again, with the intent that I was talking about. Because even though I knew everything was going to, I just didn't use hope. Why? Because I already knew it was going to work out. I knew in my being it was going to work out. No matter what, it was going to work out. And I knew it was going to work out because I was loving myself. I was taking care of myself. And some people understand, you know what, I think I don't know how to get to his house. I didn't open up my map, but we'll do this anyway. It's 6:15. It is entirely too early. Anyway, that's it for this video. I don't think I can say any more anyway. I'm tired. So yeah, that's it. I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I will talk to you guys later. All right, bye now.